All right. Let's get on to this. Apparently, Tyler Robinson's trans lover is an expert marksman with a shocking violent past. I'm going to check this out, see how much I can stand Jesse talking today. I'm not sure how much I'm going to be able to stand him, so it's fine.
So if it ends up being some big grand conspiracy, okay, then I can at least look at the feds and go, well, they gave you this case with a bow on it to do misdirection. But if it ends up being the fact that Lance did this and not Tyler, the feds could not have dropped the ball more. It's all right in front of them. This name right here that you're looking at, that's Lance's screen name that he changed his avatar to on the 6th of September, 4 days before the Charlie Kirk assassination. You know how they said he got kicked out of his family?
Okay, that's
right?
wild.
And there was a bunch of people that are all, yeah, it was just because, you know, he wasn't down with the Mormon faith. Not true. Okay? That is not why Lance got kicked out of his family. The real reason is way more damning than that as it relates to his potential involvement in this crime. All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back. So Monday, starting us off with a bang, I got a bunch of updates related to the Charlie Kirk investigation as I have been leading it. And I think it's fair to just take a second and kind of delineate who is investigating what. Right? You got a lot of creators out there that are doing a lot of really good work. And I figure that Candace and
especially with the ballistics, bro. I know about like 3 or 4 channels that are really good, and they've showed a lot of excellent different things about the ballistics and how almost practically impossible that it didn't blow his head off, almost like, or his, at least, like, you know what I mean? Like,
others have got the international angle locked down, right? Like, they got it locked down. They got sources that I don't have, and I figure if there's a connection there that they're going to be able to prove, they're going to be the ones to do it. So I've been going the other way, and I have been looking into the current official story, why it makes no sense, and let's say that there was a more, connected to the official story reason that all of this makes no sense, and like maybe someone else that is not Tyler Robinson actually did this, but it's not, it's not like a Tom Clancy novel. It's something much more simple, like, as an example, his roommate and boyfriend, furry Lance. So I have some stuff that I'm going to tell you about that I recently learned that is, I mean, listen, dude, what we're basically going to do is we're piling on top of what I shared last week, which was the AI evaluating Tyler versus Lance in the original suspect's photo, and 6, out of the 6 features, it picked Lance every single time. It's like, no, this is probably Lance, not Tyler. Lance. And every single, brow line, length between nose and mouth, all that stuff, right? And in addition to that, there's a lot of other evidence that it looks like it was probably Lance who is the actual suspect and the shooter. And that's before I dropped this thermonuclear new information that I have now learned, because I have people that are okay. Like, I got a lot of connections in Utah. I lived in Utah for a year. People don't know that, but I lived right around there for an entire year. I know a lot of people out there, and I have a lot of connections that know these people. And so I was able to kind of eat my way up the ladder to get real close.
Well, that's
right?
disgusting, bro.
Real close
eat people?
To where I have uncovered some stuff that you're like, dude. The likelihood that Lance did not do this or is uninvolved is impossible. You have 2 options here. Either this is some kind of...
Yeah, I definitely don't think it was Tyler Robinson that shot and killed Charlie Kirk. Just not like, after seeing all the evidence, even on that front, even if they're okay, so the bullet stopped in his spine. It makes no sense, because what they're saying is it hit him somehow in the T7 and went straight down to the T2, but the hole is right here and the T7 is up here. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it kind of doesn't make sense, because then the bullet would have had to enter through here and then go up to the T7 and then straight down. That's not how physics work.
Super crazy deep state, like, intelligence operation, and these guys are patsy somehow, or Lance is involved, okay? Like, there's no world where Tyler did this by himself, okay? So we're going to get into that. But first, what we're going to look at is at
I
Hunter
think I said the numbers
Kozak.
backwards.
You guys may recall Hunter Kozak,
but you know what I mean.
Who was from the Unfuck America tour, who was the last person to ask Charlie the question. You know, he's like, hey, what about trans shooters? He, for some reason, lied to the person who was going to ask the first question about what he was going to ask. He's like, yeah, I'm just going to ask him about like trans statistics and, stuff about trans in America. And then he didn't mention that he was going to be asking him something about, trans shooters. And he's practicing his reaction in the crowd. Everybody's seen that.
Yeah.
Right? And here's the thing. So you guys may have heard
weird.
about this. I offered him $20,000 to take a lie detector test, which he responded to. Okay, so we're going to take a look at that update right there. But first, I wanted to show you guys something else.
You out here balling like that? I'd like to be balling like that. If I was balling like that, bro, I would have teeth.
Is the Unfuck America Tour website. Now, let's just go ahead and do a quick scroll through here. And he's gone. Hunter Kozak.
But he was there. I remember. He was there. I remember the video. I watched the video.
Gone.
He was there.
He's been removed. He's not on the Unfuck America Tour at all anymore. Okay? He was
It's called they have to distance themselves from the situation.
Still there as of like literally a week ago. Okay? A week ago he was there. Right? Now, I've been in contact with the founder of Unfuck America, Z, who's down at the bottom. Very nice person. I got no beef with her at all. She didn't think that he would do it. I went to her first. I was like, hey, do you think that he would take money to do a polygraph? She's like, I don't want to approach him with it because he's traumatized. I'm like, okay. And you know what I said back? I said, he's not the only one who's traumatized. I'm traumatized. Every time I look at my analytics and see that 40% of my viewers have not subscribed, even though I say, hey, guys, it doesn't cost money, but it's not free content. It just costs one time. Click subscribe.
See, look, I can't do that. See what he's doing right there? I'm not going to do that. I'm just not. You like the video, you don't like the video, whatever. I appreciate it. Obviously, I'm going to appreciate all the likes that I do get. I'm just not going to be like, I'm different, bro. Like, I'm here to give information about the truth that goes for everyone, not to get likes. And I'm not expecting to get likes. I'm expecting to get actually more dislikes than likes, and that's okay with me, because either way, that I don't know, like I'll become the most famous disliked human on earth if I have to be. I don't care.
And then you're done and you can watch all my content, and they just don't do it anyway. I'm traumatized, okay? But thank you to everybody who has been liking and forwarding my content. I love you guys very, very much. I love you guys who don't subscribe also, but I would appreciate it if you would. Oh yeah, he seems real traumatized when I've watched his interviews. But my boy over here, Project Constitution, he put it out on X. Okay, Staxiums is Hunter Kozak, right? And so he said,
I appreciate that comment right there, Lewis. It is exceptionally true. That's why I watch him, because I know I can use him as an example along with whatever he's talking about. Like, that's all I mean, half the people I react to are I'm analyzing them just as much as I'm analyzing the information they're talking about, because everyone has been brainwashed. Like, I've been brainwashed. Everyone I've confirmed 100% that 100% everyone in the world was brainwashed, because the brainwashing absolutely existed before everyone could have possibly existed. So I'm saying. So because I know that Jesse's brainwashed, and I can use the things he says out of his mouth and be like, look, he's brainwashed right here. Like, see, he's a massive Trump supporter. He doesn't get that he's on the right versus the left, and the left versus the right is a lie. They're on the same team. They're a unilateral party. they manipulate the populace with propaganda to substantiate the agendas they're pushing and persisting.
Right here, Jesse on Fire offers $20K cash. Cash immediately if you agree to a live. No. 20K if he takes the polygraph. Okay, but I would escrow the money for sure. I would do it. Right. So here's the clip that he used. This is all true, and this is before Hunter agreed to it publicly. Okay, we are going to look at Hunter Kozak's new interview.
I mean, I showed up fairly early. I was the second person to speak there. So, the first person was maybe 10 minutes, and I maybe got, less than a minute in. So,
could you give us kind of a recap?
So, while you were there, at what point were you doing this? Like, at what point were you...
Talk to Charlie Kirk. You can see him right here. This is the full footage. You can see
Yeah,
that it's
he's
not
like-
the time that the shot took place.
He's
He
trying
was
to, like-
caught rehearsing his reaction of what he was going to do whenever he saw the event take place. Hunter has responded to these allegations.
I've seen that a few times now, but why? I don't know why. Right there, when I saw it right there, when he did the whole hand thing, it's like, how dumb do you have to be self-prepping a reaction when there's logistically hundreds of cameras all around you? Hundreds of cameras all around you. Why would you think that's a good idea? Don't you think you should have probably practiced that at home in front of a mirror?
Listen to what he has to say, and I'm going to replay the video to see if it matches his description.
And the latest thing, which is I do this bit where if someone says something really uninteresting but says it like it's interesting, I act shocked and surprised to them. I'm like, whoa, you're telling me this for the first time? In line, the person behind me said something really stupid, and I looked over to the person in front of me and was like, well, look at it. And whoa. And suddenly that's me practicing for being surprised.
That's the first time I've actually seen him try to explain that.
Oh, yeah, me
and
too.
It's even worse than I thought it would be.
Play it again.
That
Play it
is
again.
insane.
Play it
Okay?
again.
Let's rewatch and let's see if he looks
Yeah,
like
He's literally not talking to anyone.
he's talking to somebody else that is in line with him. Or does it seem like he's out there having a good time? He seems like he's partying. Nobody's talking to him. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section. Make sure you like and follow for more.
Wow.
It's
That
too hard
is
to tell on that one.
Crazy talk, man. Hey, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? You guys believe him? That he was. That's just a thing that he does. It's just a thing he does. And again, as Nissy Social pointed out, the kid wanted to be an actor. Like, this guy, dude, strap this seriously. Yes, dude. Honestly,
I'm not sure if Jesse knows this, but polygraph tests aren't reliable.
know the person who like runs the Unfuck America tour, but like I am going to offer that kid I'm going to go through her and be like, I will give him $20,000 cash if he takes a polygraph test on camera. Matter of fact, I'm going to do that shit right now. And I did. And I really did do that shit on camera. And she said he's traumatized. So we went with this route, right? So bam. And here is boom. Hunter Kozak. Yeah, obviously I do this. I do think the conspiracy crowd won't be convinced by anything. They'll point out that polygraphs aren't 100% accurate, but for $20K, I'd obviously do this. Who would not do that? Okay? He's like a college kid. Who would not take $20K?
Right.
This is hilarious too. It's like, hey, no one's going to give you $20K. Tell them to get effed. None of them have an effing clue what went on. They all just throw shit at the wall, nothing's sticking. It's really pathetic at this point. It's like, money's all relative. I said this, I'm like, money's all relative, guy. If he does the test, he'll get paid. I'll escrow the money in advance. Fucking idiot probably doesn't even know what escrow means. What's it going to prove? And who are you to even be making these kinds of comments? I still call bullshit on the money. Okay, normally I would never flex money like this, but just to prove the point that it was like, yeah, I'm not making an empty offer. I was like, yeah, I'm like, you would call bullshit. $20K probably sounds unfathomable to you. I was wearing a watch I bought for $40K in the stream when I said it. And listen to this, look at this. The guy goes, he's all, are you serious? Did you just...
See, like, do you see what I'm talking about? See Jesse's issues here? You see he's flexing one of the biggest psychological brainwash manipulations there is. It's called materialism.
Money flex at me? You called bullshit on the money, you stupid fuck. You think I was just money flexing? You said I couldn't pay the $20K. And I'm saying, like, I was wearing double that on my wrist when I made when I made the offer. The whole point, I'm not money flexing you. The whole point is that, yeah, the money's real. So stop trying to talk him out of taking this deal that'll change his life if he didn't do it, you dumbass. You'll never see $20K in your entire life, okay? The second you stop thinking...
See right there, another ignorant thing he's saying. when the dude that he's talking about probably has already made 20K in his life.
About 20K is a lot of money is when you will have 20K, okay? Mindset, dude. Think of it as not that much money, and you'll figure out ways to make it. I promise that it works. I've been broke and I've had money, and that shit works. Anyway, but shockingly, when it came time for Hunter to schedule, he ghosted us. Okay? Both me and Project Constitution tried contacting it. He ghosted us completely. Hey, that doesn't make you look guilty at all. You know, I feel like he probably had nothing to do with this, you know, because I can tell you what I would have done for $20,000 when I was that age. Certainly take a lie detector if I was innocent of a crime. Like, I'd be like, wait, hang on, how long does a polygraph take? They're like, probably including like all the questions and the setup, probably 90 minutes. It's like 90 minutes.
No,
yeah.
probably not even that.
And you're innocent,
the
right?
setup would probably take like.
So do you want to take
$20
$20,000 to do a polygraph?
Questions would take 10.
No. Why? Why would you?
Yeah, I think there wouldn't be that many questions that they would need to ask him. All they would have to take like a few minutes to establish a baseline, and then ask him like 4 questions about what happened and his role, and if potential role or not role. You know what I mean?
Not take $20,000 to do a polygraph. Okay. That offer stands. Okay? That offer stands. You can approve of the polygraph administer as long as I'm the one who picks them originally. I pick them, you can vet them, and then you can approve. Okay? You don't get to pick the polygraph person, though. That's for sure. I'm not playing the fucking, whatever. I see all the angles. I know how you can juke this thing. Okay, so now we got to talk about Lance. Okay? So as I alluded to, I came into some very shocking information about Lance as it relates to the likelihood that he is culpable for this crime.
Right,
okay?
yes. Can you go to the evidence, please?
Number one thing that I found out, right, is that Lance grew up firing rifles and hunting all the time. All the time. Grandpa, avid hunter, took Lance hunting a million times, completely proficient with a rifle, could easily make the shot that hit Charlie. Easily. Okay? That's number one. No one sees this kid coming because he's trans. Like, they're all, oh, he's trans. He must be just this little Twinkie weirdo. It's like, it does, like, that's just a stupid way of assessing this. You think that he's non-threatening because he's trans? Well, let me tell you what else I learned about him, okay? Buckle up for this, okay? I found out the real reason that he got exorcised from his, kicked out of his family. So you know how they said they got kicked out of his family, right? And there was a bunch of people that are all, yeah, it was just because, he wasn't down with the Mormon faith. Not true. Okay? That is not why Lance got kicked out of his family. The real reason is way more damning than that as it relates to his potential involvement in this crime, because it's violent, okay? Lance's grandfather is a pediatrician, okay? And Lance went to his grandfather wanting to get sex change hormones, and his grandfather would not give them to him. And over this issue, okay, this is all coming from people in that community, okay? I mean, listen, dude, I have no firsthand knowledge of this, but the people, they're not going to lie to me about this.
It makes sense if his family is highly religious and Mormon. They're going to be like, bro, you're fucking crazy, bro. You're not getting no pills to fucking transition to another sex.
Stuff, dude. This is because I fact checked all of this, right? So his grandfather really is a pediatrician, okay? And when Lance was denied the sex change hormones by the grandfather, he attacked his grandmother with a knife. I bet the FBI didn't know about that shit, huh? Guys, you like a case with a bow on it. Did you look into your witness and their history of violence with the family? Did the family volunteer that information to you, that he had attacked his grandmother with a knife?
I will be looking into the information he is proposing right now. I'm probably off stream, and I will have to do an update on that, dude, on whether or not that's true or not. You said you fact check it. All right, I gotta check into this.
Before? And then did you look and find out when you put this story together that Tyler Robinson's your guy because you got the text messages, you got whatever, you got a case with a bow on it. So it's like, all right, this is perfect. You didn't think to look into the boyfriend who lives at that made sense to you that he didn't know anything about this and that Tyler did it by himself? Didn't think maybe Tyler was taking the rap for him? Didn't think maybe like there was something going on there that you should look into? Didn't think to look into the fact that Tyler is a 4.0 student with no history of violence, no history of problems, no history of nothing ever. Lance, on the other hand, is a troubled kid who was kicked out of his family for violence with a deadly weapon. Okay? He's in his house with fucking notepad after notepad after notepad after notepad after notepad of these drawings and scribblings of different sayings and all kinds of stuff like that. And I got another big thing for you there. Okay, he's writing all this stuff. Did someone write these weird sayings on the bullets themselves? Oh, they did? Right. So that would certainly indicate, like, if you can locate which of these two guys writes little sayings all over the place, that would be a good indicator of who actually did this. Oh,
okay. Do you have videos? Please tell me you have evidence, a photo, something, or is this just you gonna say stuff? Because you saying stuff without presenting, like, in this particular case, because obviously I present information about the truth that goes for everyone without no proof whatsoever, and that's because ultimately I know what I'm talking about requires you to take it upon yourself to find the evidence yourself, because only you can convince yourself of the thing I'm talking about. In this case, that doesn't apply there. You see what I'm saying? In this case, because it's a lower dimensional problem, it doesn't require that level of assessment. I can easily assess that this requires proof. And if really, I can obviously, with what I'm talking about, I can obviously actually supply plenty of evidence and proof to what I'm talking about. It's just, I still know that it doesn't matter how much evidence or proof I provide to anyone, because everyone has to take it upon themselves.
Lance also? Oh, the AI picked Lance 6 out of 6 features. It's Lance that writes all the stuff in the thing. Lance has a history of violence. Okay? Hello? Okay? And then also, and the shooter named Robin Westman from Minnesota, that couple weeks before that, had written a song lyric or a song title on one of his AR magazines, which was from the artist Sky Valdez, who is a trans radical who wrote the song Charlie Kirk Dead at 31 that they released August 13th. Okay?
That's
less than
interesting.
A month before Charlie's killed, and also put up a drawing or a painting or whatever of a prone shooter on the roof in the exact place where Charlie was shot from, with the title Roof. Okay?
Where's that
and
picture?
I can connect that person to Lance. I can't connect them to Tyler. I can connect them directly to Lance. And then check this out. Okay, ready for this? This is one of Lance's gaming handles.
Right, you already went over this.
Okay, this is one of Lance's gaming handles. Changed his name to Homicidal Maniac 9/6/2025. Okay? 9/6/2025, Lance changes his name to Homicidal Maniac in his player profile.
Okay, cool. You already covered this. So what?
What else we got? So this is his character. What is going on there?
Okay, so that means
Paw Job
nothing,
John,
bro.
And here's how we know. Okay, look at. So here's Paw Job Johnson, and there it is, Lunavore. That's Lance. Okay, that's Lance. Lunavore, and Paw Job Johnson is this listing right here where we're going through all their different names. Homicidal Maniac 9/6/2025. But yeah, dude, it's probably Tyler. Probably Tyler that did it. Oops. Probably Tyler that did it.
I guess Jesse isn't a gamer, bro, at all,
right
because that skin meant nothing to his mentality, bro.
This person is involved in
the name
everything.
Homicidal Maniac doesn't even mean anything necessarily.
If I was going to guess, we think that this is one of the guys who was in from out of town in the weeks up planning. When it comes to these,
I've seen far worse gamer name tags.
Counts, this person right here has done some incredibly suspicious stuff, but we can't ID who they are in real life. You know, like Tyler and Lance are easy because we knew who they were before. And so IDing them in the backside is very easy because we already knew who they were. When you're trying to ID people through the veil and it's just like, here are all these names, you can see what people are saying to each other, but it's very challenging to ID who they are if you don't already know. Except in the case of Sky Valdez, whose name was Sky in the chat logs. Okay? But in addition to that, like when you go to the day of, you have so many things to look at here. Okay, you got this person right here. That person meets up with Tyler, who is right there. This is 8 minutes before Charlie Kirk gets shot.
Your camera's in the way, dude.
You have this person afterwards who comes right off the loose, whatever the name of the building is, roof. And then as they realize that someone is filming, they put their head down and they get on their phone. Hair looks like it very easily could be Lance. Okay. Now, the other thing that we found out is that Lance was in protective custody. So Lance was in protective custody. And when I said, I'm not even sure if I ever said this publicly on the channel because I was talking to other people about it, but I don't think I ever said it because I couldn't figure out what was going on. But there are lots of tools online that you can use to locate people and ID them and, just whatever. If you're looking for a person and you're trying to get background checks, if I have a person's name and cell phone number, I can find out every single thing about them. And so could you, actually. There's not just me. Anybody can do this. If you have a name and a cell phone number and you use those background check things, everybody's punched them into Google and then it's like, here, pay $30.
Yeah.
And everyone's all, oh my God, $30. I thought it was free. No one pays. Well, guess what happens when you pay? Okay. Like they're not bluffing. I know people are conditioned to like the internet being nothing but scams, but in this case, you pay and you find out their entire life, their criminal history, every property they've ever lived in, you find out everything. Everything.
Not everything. Okay? It depends on which site you go to. I had to do
this, right? I did this. I learned this because many of you guys who have been following me for a long time remember a couple years ago my car got stolen and I figured out who did it. And so before I decided what I was going to do, I had to understand who I was dealing with. Like I had to, you know what I mean? I don't know. I know 3 pieces of information about the person. I know their name, I know their cell phone number, and I know what they do for a living and they're a business owner, which tells me nothing. Easily could be a money laundering operation. I know and I also know they stole my fucking car or had people steal my car. So I had to know who I was dealing with. So I did a background check and I figured out exactly what was going on.
That story makes sense. He said his car got stolen and then he found out who it was and got a name and a phone number and did a background check instead of calling the cops to give them the name and the number of the dude that stole his car. And then they go and arrest the dude that stole his car and he gets his car back if they had not already chopped it or sold it or done whatever they were going to do to it to make the money off of the reason why they stole it in the first place.
They were in a tremendous amount of debt to the government. They were in a tremendous amount of debt here. Their criminal history was a DUI like 10 years ago. They were not a career criminal. They were financially desperate. And so I knew that I could squeeze them. You know what I mean? I could squeeze them because things get a lot worse. They get a lot worse because I went and got my car back. Like I got my own car back. I tracked my car. I went and picked it up on my own. But they tipped their hand, and so I figured out who it was. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. But I found out everything about them. Fucking everything. So when we were trying to do this for Lance, there's nothing there. There is no Lance. Lance doesn't exist. In these, because if you find out like the family's names, whatever, you look it up, it's like, how is there no record of Lance? No record. And him being in protective custody, that explains that, dude. Because they'll just take your name off the list. You know what I mean? Like the government could just go, and now they're gone. And it's gone. But you also have Lance's mom, who graduated from the behavioral sciences behavioral sciences major at Stanford, which is a breeding ground for the CIA. So there's that also. There is also that angle. So if people are looking for a real like deep, and again, none of this information disqualifies the idea that there could be an international state actor involved in this. Doesn't disqualify that at all.
See, like I noticed that in the last year and a half. Look, this is how I'm going to show you how brainwashing works. In the last year and a half, almost every content creator I have watched, regardless of how not connected they are to each other, have all started using the same terminology, and this includes the mainstream media propaganda, right? And that is good, bad, and state actor. Yeah? So they started using these terminology. You know why? Because they had to. They had to start using, the system had to start using that terminology because for the last, I don't know, almost 10 years, 6, 7, 8, something like that, 6, 7, 8 years, I've been talking about language manipulation and how the people that you're listening to are actors. Like Trump isn't listed as an actor on the IMDb. He was listed as an actor well before he became a president. Do you see what I'm saying? Did you know the president of Ukraine was an actor? He's listed as an actor on the IMDb, which is the place where movies are made and people get put on for making movies. And I don't get why people are trusting people. Like, look, I don't have a problem with actors, right? Actors are great. Movies are great. Storytelling, fiction, all that stuff is great. What I'm saying is they're paid to elicit emotional responses by fiction. And fiction, in essence, isn't real. And so therefore, if you allow them to do that to reality, what do you think happens to reality?
All of this could just be a big smokescreen on on these guys. But if it is really, one of these, like this group over here, no one's going to convince me that Tyler Robinson did this on his own. You can't convince me because it's not true. Guaranteed, it's not true. If he's involved,
I don't think he did it on his own.
Either an accomplice or he had help or whatever.
I'm pretty sure this is like a very much larger issue. Like, a lot more like strategic than he thinks, because the system will use deaths of people to its advantage, right? Like it probably cultivated this on purpose to cultivate this reaction to force potentialities for left versus right, war, civil paradigm, war, violence. Like, you see what I'm saying? It's trying to create all that. You got to not let it win. Duality's a lie. So therefore, this whole system of trying to create this person versus you versus them, because they're on the left and you're on the right, and or you're on the right and they're on the left, and all that shit doesn't make sense actually, bro. Like, you are both poor, and the government means to control mind, and it's sucking all the money away from you with its print out of thin air. So it's a crime for me to print money out of thin air, but people that I've never met have the power to print money out of thin air and then tell me how much or how little they can print, while I can't do nothing about it, and I'm at the whims of them continuously devaluing the money I am forced to use to exist here, live here.
I think Lance probably took that shot. I'm going to tell you that right now. I think.
Wow, you think that the shot's possible? Like, I still don't think the shot is even possible, really.
Lance took that shot.
Let alone whoever shot it, and I don't think that the narrative is not correct. If the shot from there doesn't make sense.
But there's a lot of pressure on the feds to put that case down fast, and they get given a case on a silver platter. My guess would be either Lance framed Tyler or Lance convinced Tyler to take the rap for him because Tyler is in love. He's never had a sexual partner before, and he doesn't know what to do. He's all torn up. He's the one who always has to calm Lance down when Lance would have his episodes. And what does that do? That puts them in the position of like they are the savior, they're the caretaker, and so, oh my God, Lance got himself in the biggest jam ever. I will protect you. Love makes you do crazy things, dude.
Okay, right.
Love.
I don't know about all that. He's just, he goes off on the deep end about some things a little bit, bro. I don't know about all that, bro. I don't know if it was some Romeo and Juliet fucking type shit going on, bro. The world. There's this happening. There's the roadblocks things happening, bro. Oh man, it makes me tired, bro, to think about it. Actually, a lot.